Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Abstract Medicine. So, this is going to be a video that's going to be slightly different from your usual, although we're coming back to a theme that we've touched on before, which is channeled messages from Commander Ashtar. Now, as always, Commander Ashtar, or rather most specifically, the Galactic Federation, have been trying to contact me for a while, and I've been like, no, 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 not today. So, I'm just about to leave my retreat and I thought I'd do a reading, a channeled video without any cards, just psychic messages in nature with the beautiful background. Hopefully you're able to see it. And I'm currently recording from my laptop. So again, slightly different in technology, but I feel like it's all related, it's all connected. So let me just tune into his energy and see what he wants to share with us today. So give me one moment as I tune in. And you may see me rocking, you may see me kind of like moving, you may see my tone of voice change a bit, but that's very natural and normal for psychics channeling a message from another being from another dimension. He says, welcome, welcome, my child. He always welcomes me like that. Okay. And he always says, we are gathered here today. Commander Ashtar, what is it that you're sharing today? He's talking about the seat. So there's a chair right here next to me, and he's telling me that he sat here with me today, like an interview, and he's sharing something with regard to my recent interview that I did for Meta Mystics, and it's a podcast channel dealing with metaphysical experiences, paranormal experiences, and I go really deep into that interview, and I'll link it down below and I'll make sure to do that so you can tune into it at your own time. It's a 2.5 hour long podcast interview where I'm being interviewed. I'm the interviewee. And it's helping people, he's saying it's helping people to awaken and to understand more about your psychic practice outside of abstract medicine. So predominantly, I'm an artist, as you know, and I recently have right now, actually, currently at the time of this channeling, this video, this reading, a show called Alchemea, and it deals with alchemy in a transformation, externalized and manifested into an outer understanding and appreciation and respect to the person that I am becoming through the process of painting as ritual. And during the process of Alchemea, I created, I decided to embark on 33 paintings, 33 being a very symbolic number. And during the process of the series of the alchemical series, I had experienced two deaths and very close to my heart, very close to my soul, and a death of a relationship, an end of a relationship with my ex-partner. So there's a lot of changes that I'd experienced, and I'm no longer the person that I was before. I embarked on the journey, and I'm no longer the person that I am during the process. So I've now turned into gold internally and being externalized and appreciated, I'm hoping. There's a lighter of being, there's a lighter of energy, there's a lighter sense of energy within me. And Commander Ashtar is talking about that and technology. And he's sharing that we must align with technology in order to, what am I hearing? To get to our biggest and brightest outcomes, he's saying. Because Commander Ashtar, who is in charge of the Galactic Federation, they are overseers. They are beings who are overseers of this planet Earth. And they see, they understand, they are aware of all timelines and potentialities of our kind of human existence, our humankind. But he is saying we are at a breach of our we're breaching. So it's like we're giving birth collectively to a newer sense of humanity. Some people call it transhumanism. I'm getting chills as I say that. He is right here. I can feel him. He's on my right side. And there's always going to be an agenda, he is saying. There's always going to be an agenda for dark, and there's always going to be an agenda for light. He's talking about the trees and how the trees have technology and how human beings also have technology, but we just don't activate them or we don't use them at all, or we're not even aware of them. The technology is communication. That's the main thing. The reason why, as people on this planet, we are obsessed, he is saying, about being in touch, not only because we are social creatures of habit and social animals. He's kind of saying a slide remark here. Some are more animalistic, some are more debase as a devolved or low vibrational frequential state of consciousness. But it's because we subconsciously know that communication is the most important thing. Communication is key. And so technology brings about more communication. And so pay attention to the trees because the trees are always communicating with each other. He's also now showing me ants and how ants are communicating with each other. Notice how a bee or a wasp enters your home and you can see it trying to communicate itself out of the window that's closed. It's using particular sensors in order to navigate and figure out where where to leave, where to exit. And it's interesting because this particular format for this video is like this. As you can see, it's got this very sort of spaceship visual to it. And he's saying that bees and wasps have that kind of all-encompassing dimensional technology that's communicating a bit like this, but in multiple windows all at once, all at the same time. They are truly metaphysical beings, he is saying, and we can learn a lot from them. And in fact, there are companies, he's saying companies to put it lightly, that are using that to reverse engineer natural occurrences in nature, in beings, animal beings, tree beings, human beings, he is saying, to really understand. He's saying our truest essence, why we've also got this particular technology within our system, and which we'll get into in a minute, hopefully, if he's open to it. He says yes. And how to control it. So there's always a faction for good, there's always a faction for evil. And evil will always want to control and dominate, and the good will always want to expand and emancipate. And he says communication is free. It's so beautiful being surrounded by all these trees and this huge forest that's surrounding me like this, like a horseshoe. They're talking to me as well at the time of this session. So I'm going to ask Commander Ashtar, what is the particular technology that we have? He's actually asking me to rephrase the question. He's saying, what is the particular technology you mean that we inhabit? Okay, what is that and what does that mean? He says, think within, feel within, sense within, experience within, tune in. Like a radio station, you turn it on, you tune it in, and there's a lot of noise. And he says to get clear, for communication to receive, to be received, because you are a receiver as well as an emitter of communication. So he's showing me an actual radio. Okay. They're sharing, there's a lot of noise, but there's also a lot of calmness within that noise. I think he's referring to the din of, what's it called? Like grey noise. But even within that, there's a message. And what is the message? And who are you as the messenger? Big questions. I don't know how to answer that right now. He says, you already know. And I said, okay, you're doing it. Okay, thank you. Um, he wants me to share. I'm sorry, I'm sensing something over there, further back towards the trees there. Um, there's an observer. I don't know who it is. It's an energy of a tree spirit. But he's saying that he wants me to share something that I dreamt about the other day, which was a spaceship. And I dream about spaceships a lot, and I have a very strong connection line with um, other sentient beings from other timelines from our future, us in a future state, um, and then part of my starseed family as well. But this spaceship I've never seen before. It was kind of hexagonal with a long bit towards it. And it landed, and all these kind of robotic beings came out of it. And so, yeah, I knew that they were able to see me see them. So in my dream state, I was remote viewing. He just said there is a descent of humanity. So there are actual, I'm hearing colonies. He's saying that there are events that are taking place during our sleep time that we are not able to see, but only psychics are able to see, intuitives are able to see. And that is events like this, where there are travelers, cosmic, he's saying cosmic travelers uh, descending on Earth and I'm hearing finding a base camp here. To do what? Come on, Ashtar. To study, to examine, to learn, to see. He's saying to experience what it is like to be you, to experience nature. It's almost like he's referring to like fallen angels. I'm hearing who are up for the ride almost of a lifetime, but their lifetime is different from our lifetime. So there are sentient beings who have lifetimes that are 500 years, or you know, our lifetime in this iteration of what it is to be on Earth as a human being is 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, absolute max. But for them, that's just a blink in the eye. That's blink of an eye. That's a blip. For some, it's centuries old. Some of them are centuries old. But he's saying that the reason why, he says there are lots of beings on this planet, a lot more than you can anticipate, and a lot more than you can imagine. There are invisible beings. There are ones who have screens. He's actually saying screensavers. What is that about? He says there's a technology that some of these sentient beings have, and I don't know which ones they are, which which beings they are. I'm also asking him, are they part of the Galactic Federation? He says no. He says no. He says no, vehemently no. Um, these are curious cosmic voyages, he's saying. And some of these cosmic voyages, some of these curious cosmic voyages, he says, are acquiring information. He's now showing me clairvoyantly scooping sand and putting it in their pocket for later analysis. He's now showing me a laboratory and he's showing me how like Bunsen burners and like vials and tinctures and things. He's showing me a laboratory. It's all white, but it's very technologically advanced. It's white. It's all like it looks like glass to me, but he's saying it's not glass, it's plasma. I'm like, okay. Um, and he's showing me that how they're going in and out of this laboratory, and analyzing. He's also showing me a being on a table, like on an examination table. He's now showing me much like the ones that I see in my shamanic healing sessions with clients, but it's different. It's a different energy. It's not necessarily good, but it's not necessarily evil. It's in between. It's what they create with it that is evil. He's now showing me like a Frankenstein character. So he's showing me how what they do is that these beings descend, they gather information from the earth, they take it back to the laboratory, and then they research it and look at it, analyze it a bit more. And then with that, they play, he says. It's their form of entertainment. That's so sad. Yes, it is for you, but for some and others, it brings great joy, although some of them don't have or experience or understand what joy is. Wow. Because some of these beings don't have that emotion. They are emotionless, he's saying. And so these beings who are like lab-based people, I'm also hearing lab-grown meat, by the way. I'll hold that for thought in a minute. But he's saying that these beings are playing around, playing God, and they, in this sort of like state of whether it's not good or whether it's evil in the laboratories, they are examining. It's what is created, he's repeating. That is the major problem, the major issue, because even though they are very smart, they can't necessarily foresee how the door just closed because of the wind. Exactly, like how an event can, how disastrous it can be for their creation, for the creations being put out into the world or the universe or the stratosphere. I don't know where they're going, but he's showing me like this kind of Frankenstein character that they're creating out of tinctures, out of their examinations. And that's where the evil is experienced. That's where the evil is let loose, he is saying. That's where the evil is let loose. Because I'm going to call them people, because these people um, aren't they aren't aware of emotions because they don't have emotions. They therefore can't understand what evil is. I mean, it sounds psychopathic, really. He's saying he's got a funny sense. He's saying it's psychopathetic. I know. Yeah. He's saying like, why can't they just play tennis like what they're doing over there? You know, why I can hear the neighbors playing tennis. Instead, they play ping pong with the universe, he's saying. So, in terms of lab grown meat, that's a download that some of the nefarious characters who play that evil role on this planet Earth have received as messages from these particular beings. What else is it that you want to share? He's showing me what he's wearing. It's grey. It's like a suit. It's very military. Um, he's got a belt. It's weird because it kind of looks like a 1980s suit, kind of giving Thunderbirds. So he's got this like military sort of suit that's grey and he has a belt and it's got these kind of like brass buckles on the side. Yeah, brass buckles on the side. It's kind of 1960s, 1970s style. What else? What else is it that you want to share? He's talking about gather. Gathering what? Gather more information, he says. Gather people together. He's saying, but gather the right people together. More people are waking up. More people are more cosmologically aligned, he is saying. More people are understanding themselves within the context of the universe. More people are waking up. Why why have you I'm just curious, like why have you chosen me to share these messages about this stuff? Like many other remote viewers and psychics, this isn't my main job, as you know, so I'm an artist, but it's all connected because I'm a higher being. But surely there's something about me transmitting these messages that can hinder my brand, as artists. He says, let it be, because even as you're sharing these messages, again, you are waking people up to a different perspective. And that's what a wake up call is. That's what waking up is. That's what an awakening is. It's for a different perspective, he's saying. The wake up call isn't something that you never really knew before about society, about a particular person, about the world and the realities and the true things that happen in this world. He's saying it's more about a different perspective that is unlocking what you already know and what you need to know at this time. I know I'm being called to do a plat, so I'm going to do a plat. He's saying release the need to fit in. Release the need to fit in. Release the need to be liked. He's also saying release tension. Release tension and the need for attention, but more of a call for attention. So awareness. He's saying there's the seven nations, so the sacred nations of the indigenous tribes of this planet are leading the way. Quietly, boldly, strongly, courageously are leading the way at this time. That's why you're seeing a lot of revolutionary activity already, or you will be. I'm hearing taking place starting from Australia, because everything starts from Australia with the Aborigines there. I'm hearing Chile, Mexico, Guatemala are PowerPoints at this time. So remember how I shared that there are beings that have like a screensaver? So what they do is it's like they project a screensaver. Like they know when they're about to be spotted or seen, so they'll put a screensaver, basically like a projector, that they already have ready implemented that they're able to just share so that you can't see. It's like a visual blocker. You can do that too, he's saying. There's a way that I do it, which is called cloaking, where if I don't want to be seen, I'll just cloak my energy, my aura, my auric field, so that I'm not visible. He's talking about social media, actually. He's talking about social media and how we've already started to see a shift from, he's actually showing me the Kardashians, a shift from that kind of over sexualized, over aestheticized um, look on social media He says, because all of it is vacuous, it's all fake in the end. There's no real context to it. Why are you sharing this with me about social media? Because again, it's another interactive way that is meant to be about social communication. But what happens is that we have entered the era of social, I'm hearing social tribe, social indoctrination, where everyone wants to fit in and it becomes homogenized. So essentially, what I get from that is to be alternative, be alternate, I'm hearing, to the agenda, be unique to the false tribe, the false social online friendship. Be you. Um, what else? Just checking on the time. Okay, I'm just gonna pause one moment. So, yeah, I don't really know what else wants to be shared by Commander Ashtar. Just putting my shoes on as I'm getting ready to leave. But yeah, I think that it's gone quiet again, apart from the dogs. Um, it always comes back to the message of to thine own self be true. For those sentient beings who want to help, they always share that. They always say that. But he's saying to pay attention because there are going to be robotic people, and there are already, but they're going to be more people who are less checked in with a conscious spirit. It's like the lights are on, but no one's there kind of energy. So that's what I'm seeing. What's the next wave of humanity, if anything? If there's something that we can hear today, come on, Ashtar. He says to pay attention to everything, to pay attention to all beings, whichever they are, to be alert, to refine your tuning system, refine your radio station that's internal, because that's the true technology that no one, that many of the people in power, what they don't want you to know about how powerful you are, how much of a powerful circuit you have within your brain system and your body system that is alerting you of danger, it's alerting you of communication that's being shared from your galactic families. He's saying the birds chirping, they have messages. It's funny because recently I've been channeling and like so it's almost like the birds are just so loud and kind of annoying because I'm trying to say something and they're overtaking. But I think that nature does have a lot to say, has a lot to say right now at this time. But anyway, let's get back to Commander Ashtar. So, and to not pay attention too much to the media, even in social media, to the agenda, because the media is the agenda. It's so funny. He's talking to me about Latin or an Italian and media and the media and agenda, l'agenda. L'agenda in Italian is a diary. Well, it's kind of like a calendar book. It's more like a weekly schedule, like an academic book, academic schedule, um, workbook, study book. So he's saying to study, to focus, to clear your calendar, to clear your diary, have a clearer schedule of what you want to achieve on this planet, truly. and not to just ride with the wave of what other people are telling you what to do, or the media is telling you how to behave, how to dress, even fashion trends. Like just wear what you want. That's practical, that's useful, that is long lasting, he's saying. He's like going back to his suit and how he was sharing that his suit looks, for me, looks like a 1960s suit, a military suit, um, like G.I. Joe kind of style. And and he's like, that's the best class, that's like a classic example of it will always be trendy because it's long lasting. And it doesn't matter about whether it's in fashion now or fashion later. It's about longevity. He's talking about longevity kind of flippantly, but I know that he has an actual serious message behind it. And it involves us and nature naturally, and our impact on this planet. He's noting that I made a bowl during this bank holiday. So I wanted to make a bowl, a fruit bowl. And I think it's going to be a shrine bowl in the end. Um, so I wanted to make a bowl, so I made a bowl. Abracadabra. I speak I speak it into being. That's what it means. So he's saying like doing activities like that, even if you don't know what you're doing, just do it and try it out. Um, come back to basic things that have longevity. Like he's talking about throwaway fashion as well and how detrimental it is on our world. You know, some of it is very useful, of course. He's talking about Timu. It's all the same. All of it's Timu. He's saying all of it's Timu. All of it. Every single company, all of it's Timu. Even he's now showing me Italian designed, made products. All of it's Timu. All of it. He's like keeps saying all of it's Timu. I understand what you mean. So maybe it's about going back into like vintage shopping and like buying vintage clothing for longer lasting pieces, for longer lasting items that also are kind to the environment. And I think nature has a lot to say about that. He's saying, so make a pot, make some cups, knit. He's showing me knitting as well. And join a group that does that. And that's how you actually become more socially interactive, away from technology that's outside of your system, but by rather tuning into your own natural, elemental, physical, bodily, cosmic technology that gets to be activated as you're creating these creations. So he's sharing that yes, creativity is definitely key to connecting to the cosmos in a world where at this time where time is irrelevant, so much is changing with quote unquote advancements of technology that are outside of ourselves. But the thing that will always be lasting is the technology that we have within ourselves, mind, body, spirit. He's talking about the activations of the chakra systems as well, and how they get to be activated and cleared and settled. I'm hearing non-inflamed if we utilize them properly. So I think that's it for now. I'm sure there's going to be more messages from Commander Ashtar another time. I don't know what to call this reading just yet. But I'm hoping that you've enjoyed this reading, this channeling session with Commander Ashtar. I want to say thank you to Commander Ashtar for the session. He said, Godspeed, God bless you. Take care of yourselves and I'll be watching, he says. Isn't like he's taking note of our homework that we get to do. Thank you, Commander Ashtar. Thank you. That's it. It's now become really windy, so I feel like he's definitely gone. And yeah, I'll see you in the next reading, next session. Bye for now.